Hello everyone! Last week we talked about the events of Warcraft 3, in which Arthas was turned to the dark side, and together with Kel'thuzad he summoned Archimonde into the world of Azeroth. It seems like all Arthas has done, all he had given up would be for nothing, yet the Lich King isn't done quite yet. He has no intention of forever staying loyal to Kil'jaeden and the Burning Legion, and plans are set in motion to sabotage the Legion and break out of his prison. Let's begin, shall we? The first step in the plan against the Burning Legion is to give the world the power and momentum they needed to stop Archimonde. For this, Arthas is told to go find Illidan and inform him about the skull of Gul'dan.
We could go on fighting like this forever. What is it you truly want?
The Dreadlord who commands this undead army is called Tichondrius. He controls a powerful warlock artifact called the Skull of Gul'dan. It is responsible for corrupting these forests.
And you wish for me to steal it? Why?
Let's just say that I have no love for Tichondrius, and the Lord I serve would benefit from the Legion's downfall.
Why should I believe anything you say, little human?
My master sees all, Demon Hunter. He knows that you've sought power your whole life. Now it lies within your grasp. Seize it, and your enemies will be undone.
Remember that Gul'dan was Ner'zhul's apprentice. He even used the skull himself, and the power locked inside, it gave Illidan the boost he needed to take out the Dreadlord Tichondrius and stop the corruption of their forests. The next step was the world uniting against the Legion, so under Medivh's guidance, the Night Elves, Jaina and the survivors of Lordaeron, Thrall and his newly formed horde, they teamed up, they placed a trap for Archimonde, and they blew up the World Tree, sending him back to the Twisted Nether. Months later, Arthas returned home with some bad news for the Dreadlords.
It's been months since we last heard from Lord Archimonde. I grow tired of watching over these rotting undead. What are we still doing here?
We were charged with overseeing this land, Deathrok. It is our duty to remain here and ensure that the Scourge is ready for action.
True, though we should have received some kind of orders by now.
The Legion was defeated months ago. How could they not know?
Impossible to say, but the longer they remain in command, the more they run the Scourge into the ground.
What? Who could possibly...
Greetings, Dreadlords. I should thank you for looking after my kingdom during my absence. However, I won't be requiring your services any longer.
Prince Arthas, this land is ours. The Scourge belongs to the Legion.
Not anymore, Demon. Your masters have been defeated. The Legion is undone. Your deaths will complete the circle.
Never! This isn't over, human.
It seemed like things were going very well, yet not everything went according to plan. Pointing Illidan towards the skull of Gul'dan, it turned him into a great puppet to be used against the Legion, but Kil'jaeden found the Demon Hunter and he promised him anything his heart desired if he would be able to destroy his treacherous creation. Illidan did his very best to destroy the Lich King and the Frozen Throne from a distance, yet he failed, which caused him to try and hide from Kil'jaeden's wrath in Outlands. Escaping someone like Kil'jaeden is not an easy task. He showed up and he was about to punish Illidan, but the allies he had made, Lady Vashj and Naga, Kil'thuzad Sunstrider and the now Blood Elves, formerly known as High Elves, they showed great promise, so he gave Illidan another chance. In the meantime, tossing out Frostmourne and possibly the damage done by Illidan's spell, it weakened the Lich King and his power was fading. Arthas was ordered to return to Northrend immediately, but his powers had weakened as well, to such a degree that the Banshee Sylvanas Windrunner, she was able to liberate herself from his control, she reclaimed her body, and together with the Dreadlords, they planned a bloody coup.
With my powers drained, I can barely command my own warriors. The Lich King warned me that if I didn't reach Northrend soon, all could be lost.
Fear not, my king. Everything is being prepared for your departure. The ships are waiting at the coast, and
There's been a change of plans, King Arthas. You're not going anywhere. Assassins! It's a trap!
In his moment of weakness, the Dreadlords took control of the forces that just moments ago were still loyal to the Death Knights.
There are too many of them, my king. Flee! Escape from the city! I'll find my own way out and meet you in the wilderness.
In the wilderness, abominations lumbered towards Arthas, but Sylvanas' banshees, they quickly came to the rescue.
You have my thanks, ladies. But where is your mistress? Where is Sylvanas?
She sent us to find you, Great King. We've come to escort you across the river. Once we cross it, we'll take refuge in the wilderness. This is the place, sisters. We'll rest here, Great King.
Why here? We've got to find Kel'thuzad before we...
You have been deceived. Come to my side at once. Obey.
What is happening here? Sylvanas.
You walked right into this one, Arthas. It's time to even the scales.
Traitor! What have you done to me?
It's a special poisoned arrow I made just for you. The paralysis you're experiencing now is but a fraction of the agony you've caused me.
Finish me, then.
A quick death? Like the one you gave me? No. You're going to suffer as I did. Thanks to my arrow, you can't even run. Give my regards to Hell, you son of a bitch.
Back, you mindless ones! You shall not fall today, my king.
This isn't over, Arthas. I'll never stop hunting you.
Kel'thuzad saved Arthas' life, and as the Death Knight set sail to Northrend, Kel'thuzad was left behind to watch over the lands. Sylvanas teamed up with the Dreadlord Varimafras, and together they were able to get the capital city, and they worked on their plans of getting revenge. A city was of little concern to Arthas right now, since Illidan, Kil'thas and Lady Vush, they were getting closer and closer to their frozen throne and the Lich King. To help Arthas get there in time, Anub'arak was sent by the Lich King to guide him down into the ancient kingdom of Azjul'nerub. The labyrinth was treacherous, but together they made it through just in time.
We've made it, Anub'arak. Our forces are already assembled and waiting.
Greetings, King Arthas. You've arrived just in time. Illidan's Naga and Blood Elf forces have taken up positions at the base of the glacier and...
Arthas, my champion. You have come at last. Now, we face a grave danger. My creator, the Demon Lord Kil'jaeden, sent his agents here to destroy me. If they should reach the frozen throne before you, all will be lost. The scourge will be undone. Now hurry. I will grant you all the power I can spare.
I saw another vision of the Lich King. He has restored my powers. I know now what I must do. It's time to end the game. Once and for all.
On the battlefield, Arthas met with Kil'thas Sunstrider, who had a burning desire for vengeance. Arthas had taken the woman he loved, had murdered his father, destroyed his kingdom. The prince had reforged his father's broken blade, fellow Malorn, and he did his very best to end the Death Knight's life. In their battle, Kil'thas and Arthas, they shot spells at each other, while Arthas tried to taunt the mage and break his concentration. "I took your woman," he said, continued to try to anger the mage, although he knew, and probably Kill knew, that Jaina had never belonged to the elf. "I held her in my arms at night. She tasted sweet when I kissed her, Kill. She
loathes you now. You sicken and disgust her, Arthas. Anything she felt for you has since turned to hatred."
Arthas tried to break and anger Kill, but instead it backfired and it made him wonder about the past, about how Jaina regarded him. This hesitation was all Kel'thuzad needed as he shot fireball after fireball until he finally drew his blade and he lunged in, thinking to deal the death blow. But Arthas remembered training with Muradin so long ago, and the dwarf's favorite trick suddenly filled his mind. He pulled his legs in tightly, he kicked Kel'thuzad with all his strength, he then gained the upper hand, was about to strike Kel'thuzad down, but the mage whispered,
"She hates you now,"
before teleporting away. The Blood Elf Prince was gone, and he thought that he bought Illidan enough time. Yet Arthas, despite feeling the aftermath of their fight, he pushed on, and he had to stop Illidan.
The frozen throne is mine, demon. Step aside. Leave this world and never return. If you do, I'll be waiting.
I have sworn to destroy it, Arthas. It must be done. Never.
In their battle, Illidan bragged about how his twin blades of Asenov had been with him for over 10,000 years. How long have you fought with your pretty blade, human? How well do you know it? The words were intended to unsettle the Death Knight, but instead they invigorated him. Illidan might have had this admittedly powerful weapon for longer, but Frostmourne was bound to Arthas, and he to it. It was not a sword as much as an extension of himself. He had known it when he first had the vision of it, when he had just arrived in Northrend. He had been certain of the connection when he laid his eyes upon it, waiting for him, and now he felt it surge in his hand, confirming their unity. The demon and the Death Knight, they clashed with each other, and Illidan came very close, but nothing would stand in Arthas' way. Frostmourne pierced the flesh, struck deep, and Illidan fell down into the snow. Arthas thought about ending Illidan right there, but he decided against it, and he decided to let the merciless cold of the place do it for him, as he finished his journey started so long ago. He finally entered and reached the top of Icecrown. As Frostmourne had been for him, so was the armor. Gauntlet fingers closed over the spiked helm, and he lifted slowly, reverently, and then, closing his eyes, he lowered it onto his white head. He was suddenly galvanized, his body tensing as he felt the essence of the Lich King enter him. It pierced his heart, stopped his breath, shivered along his veins, icy, powerful, crashing through him like a tidal wave. His eyes were closed, but he saw so much. All that Ner'zhul, the orc shaman, had known, all that he had seen, all that he had done. For a moment, Arthas feared he would be overwhelmed by it all, that in the end, the Lich King had tricked him into coming here, so that he could place his essence into a fresh new body. He braced himself for a battle for control, with his body as a prize, but there was no struggle, only a blending. A melding. All around him, the cavern continued to collapse. Arthas was only barely aware of it. His eyes darted rapidly back and forth beneath his closed lids. His lips moved. He spoke. They spoke.
Now, we are one.
This story, as you read the novel Arthas Rise of the Lich King, you find out that after this moment, Arthas spent his time contemplating the choices he had made, the road that led him to merge with the Lich King. He sees himself in a great hall together with the orc Ner'zhul and a young sick child resembling that small part of him that was still good, that still whispered in the back of his mind that the path he was on was wrong, that he could still turn back. A choice had to be made. Slowly, the Death Knight turned his white head to the boy. The ill child met him with a gaze that was astonishingly clear, and for a moment Arthas felt something inside him stir. Despite everything, the boy would not die, and that meant... The boy smiled a little, and some of the sickness dissipated as Arthas struggled for words. You are me. You are both me, but you. His voice was soft, tinged with wonder and disbelief. You are the little flame that burns inside me still, that resists the ice. You are the last vestige of humanity, of compassion, of my ability to love, to grieve, to care. You are my love for Jaina, my love for my father, for all the things that made me what I once was. Somehow, Frostmourne didn't take it all. I tried to turn away from you, and I couldn't. I can't. The boy's sea-green eyes brightened, and he gave his other self a tremulous smile. His color improved, and before Arthas' eyes, some of the pustules on the skin disappeared. You understand now. Despite all, Arthas, you have not abandoned me. Tears of hope stood in those eyes, and his voice, though stronger now than it has been, quivered with emotion. There must be a reason. Arthas, much harm have you done, but there's goodness in you yet. If there was none, I would not exist, not even in your dreams. He slipped off the chair and slowly walked toward the Death Knight. Arthas stood as he approached. For a moment, they regarded each other, the child and the man he had become. The boy extended his arms, as if he were a living, breathing child, asking to be picked up and held by a loving father. It doesn't have to be too late, he said quietly. No, Arthas said quietly, staring rapidly at the boy. It doesn't. He touched the curve of the boy's cheek, slipped a hand beneath the small chin, and tilted up the shining face. He smiled into his own eyes. But it is. Frostmourne descended. The boy cried out, his shocked, betrayed anguish cry, that of the wind raging outside, and for a moment Arthas saw him standing there. The blade buried in his chest almost as big as he was, and he felt one final tremor of remorse as he met with his own eyes. Then the boy was gone. All that remained of him was the bitter keening of the wind scouring the tormented land. It felt marvelous. It was only with the boy's passing that Arthas truly realized how dreadful a burden this last struggling scrap of humanity had been. He felt light, powerful, purged, scoured clean, as Azeroth would soon be. All his weakness, his softness, everything that had ever made him hesitate or second guess himself, it was all gone now. There was only Arthas, Frostmourne, all but singing at having claimed the final piece of Arthas' soul, and the orc, whose skull face was split with triumphant laughter. Yes, the orc exhilarated, laughing almost manically. I knew you would make this choice. For so long you've wrestled with the last dregs of goodness, of humanity in you, but no longer. The boy held you back, and now you are free. He now got to his feet, his body still that of an old orc, but moving with the ease and fluidity of the young. We are one, Arthas. Together we are the Lich King. No more Ner'zhul, no more Arthas, only this one glorious being. With my knowledge, we can... His eyes bulged as the sword impaled him. Arthas stepped forward, plunging the glittering, hungering Frostmourne ever deeper into the dream being that had once been Ner'zhul, then the Lich King, and was soon to be nothing. Nothing at all. He slipped his other arm around the body, pressing his lips so close to the green ear that the gesture was almost intimate as the act of taking a life always was and always would be. No, Arthas whispered. No, no one tells me what to do. I've got everything I need from you. Now the power is mine and mine alone. Now there is only I. I am the Lich King, and I am ready. The Lich King woke up and he sent his armies out to let the world know that he's ready for them. But that's a story we'll save for next week, since we also still need to talk about some of the events that took place between placing the crown on his head and waking up again. Like I said, that will be for next week, so for now, thank you very much for watching everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time guys, see ya!
My son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas. Child, I watched with pride as you grew into a weapon of righteousness. Remember, our line has always ruled with wisdom and strength. And I know you will show restraint when exercising your great power. Victory, my son, is stirring the hearts of your people. I tell you this, for when my days have come to an end, you shall be king.